Day 5 of accepting everything on DoorDash is accomplished. Let's get into the orders, guys. So the first one is 8 miles for $9.25. This actually is a better order than it looks like because it is going into the zone I want to be at. So it's totally decent. If you're at the store, though, it looks like it's 13 miles, actually more miles than where I'm at, because it's a glitched order. For some reason, their pin is on the freeway. I've let them know multiple times, but they haven't fixed it. If you're at the store, it looks like 13 miles, so drivers will not accept the orders, and they sit there and they're out there for a good half an hour before they get picked up. And the base pay does not increase fast enough for anybody to really want to accept them for some reason. So almost every time I pick up an order there, it's always at least like 10 to half hour or even longer, unless I got the order up in Grand Mound, or I get lucky and I see it before other people and whatnot. Anyways, let's get into it. So it was $4.25 base pay, $5 tips. And then we did get an Instacart that earned me $29.06, which was pretty decent. Took me about an hour. It was like 11 miles or so. It was a nice add-on there. Anyways, we got Dollar General Starbucks stack. This order here was not the greatest. It took me 45 minutes to only earn $10.75. This guy hardly tips. He does tip, but it's anywhere from $1 to $2.50, like on this one, and then he tipped $0 on the Starbucks one. I almost dropped that order, but I was like, well, let's go ahead and do it for this challenge. And but I do reserve the right to decline or drop orders if I get a super big Instacart order, as I'm not looking to lose a lot of money. I don't mind doing this challenge and not making quite as much as I would, but still, it's still earning a decent amount, an okay amount, I guess, for accepting everything. Anyways, let's go on to the next one. I would not have accepted that if I wasn't accepting everything. We got this one that I really didn't want to do. It was only a mile away, though, which kind of makes it worth it, but it's not a high-paying offer, in my opinion. It was 18 total items at Dollar General for only $6.25. So it took about a half an hour to earn $6.25 for that order. The customer tipped $0. This one is not a good order. It could be worse, though. It was $14.25 for 11.6 miles. Goes out in the middle of nowhere. The customer, the orders like this, in my opinion, are annoying because I'm sure the customer thought they were tipping well, and they technically were, because the base pay or the suggested tip, the highest on that order would be like $5.50. So it would normally be like $12.50, something like that, maybe. But because he tipped decently big, in DoorDash's standards, instead of the base pay, like if he tipped $0, the base pay would have been like $7.50. But because he tipped decently, the base pay drops to $3.75 and can even drop to $2 if the tip is big enough. Yeah, so the tip became $10.50. The base pay was $3.75. It could also go up if drivers decline them or whatnot, which they do sometimes, but not so much anymore because of the whole 80% acceptance rate. Orders like this used to go up to $20 plus constantly, especially in the summer, but now it's very rare. And there used to be better tips around here too. I think it's because the base pay used to stick to $2 almost always. Anyways, so we have this order that's 12.4 miles, 14 items, and it does go back up because, I have to go down and then back up. But technically worth it. It's almost $2 a mile, but then I have to come back to, a zone and hope that there's orders up in Rochester area. Most of the time there's not, so most of the time it turns into 25 miles instead of only 12.4. Anyway, so I didn't get this. These are just some orders that I saw. Like that one is kind of worth it, but it's decent mileage plus a decent amount of items, which is usually a negative for me, especially when there's 3 shop and delivers. When it's only 1, and I'm at the store, I'll for sure take it. But if it's 3, then it has to be pretty dead for me when I take an order like that. This one, 6 items for 17.8 miles on Instacart. No, I don't want to do that. Somebody else did, though. I'm pretty sure it's the guy around here that accepts everything on Instacart because that's the only thing that he does. So they don't really increase anymore when he's online. When he's not online, though, it doesn't seem like anybody's online most of the time. Anyways, let's go on. I did get the Instacarts on here, but I saved the Uber Eats because I have a Uber Eats video idea coming up that I plan on doing. Yeah, I did have a lot of bad Uber Eats orders because one of the reasons because my acceptance is so low, and two, there's just a lot of bad Uber Eats orders around here. Even when I get my acceptance up super high, and I have been up at 100%. Not now though. I'm at like 1%. I'm trying to get to 0% though. Almost there. Anyways, we got base pay of $9.50 on this one and $11 customer tip. You would think with the base pay, or the tip being decent, I would consider it a really good order, but it was a decent order. Wouldn't say it was terrible. This one was $11 for 9 miles going, back that way. So it turns into 18 miles for $9. I was not too happy about that, but could be worse. Like I said, I think an order like this could turn into like $5. So it was $8 customer tip, base pay of $3. And I'm sure, again, the customer thought they were probably tipping really well because the suggested tip, I think, on that one would have only been like $4.50. Anyways, let's go on. I think the suggested tip on DoorDash is just freaking annoying. Used to be higher, but they are technically paying more out of pocket to, cover the costs. But at the same time, the more drivers are accepting stuff, so they can keep the base pay low and not really have to increase it most of the time, but not always. Anyways, let's go on. We do have this one that was $3 or 3.2 miles for $6.75. Somewhat decent. It was about $2 a mile. Good enough. I wouldn't say it's super bad. Saw these orders, which are pretty much the same as before. Kind of okay. This one, that took, I don't even know how long. Wish they had the total time. We finally got one of the decent ones here. This was a pretty good order. It was 14.7 miles, but $36.50 for only 19 items was pretty decent. I was pretty happy on that one. Was a decent amount of distance, but completely worth it. Some days I won't see anything that helps make up for all the bad orders. But on good days, most of the time, they'll at least throw some pretty good ones in there. It helps to decline stuff, but since I'm not declining anything, I just have to hope that the algorithm chooses me for some good ones in between the bad ones. Anyways, let's go on. Oh yeah, this is something that's really annoying to me. Like the customer requested, I changed the item from this to something else. But they want you to take a picture of the empty shelf, and there is no option to say the customer decided they wanted something else, which they really should add that to this, in my opinion. Anyways, let's go on. So between those two orders, one customer tipped $13, the other tipped $9, so that's $19 in tips, while the base pay was $17.75, which DoorDash is covering about half of that. And it does seem like DoorDash does try to cover about half to a little bit more overall between orders. Like, let me see if I can pull it up. Man, I'm so shaky and blah because I'm just waking up and I haven't eaten. Probably should have eaten before I got this video going, but I'm like, let's hurry up, get this video going because I want to hurry up and get to work. But I want to go ahead and show the example off. Okay, here we go. See, it does seem like I was saying, they try to keep it 50-50, and I'm almost thinking that's one of the things that they try to do on DoorDash. Because, for example, if you look here, I got DoorDash pay of $430, while the tips are $423.03. So almost exactly to the T, because there was the other pay of $425 to a 50-50. And then if I look at another day or another week, let's go ahead and show off another week. As you can see, the DoorDash pay is $469.81, while the customer tips are $453.20. I think I'm seeing something here that I don't think anybody's really talked about. Is yeah, it's to me it seems like DoorDash is trying to make sure to keep the pay level and the tips right at half now. When it used to be, the tips were much higher than the base pay used to be. So it's like a split between the tips and DoorDash. Like you can almost every week is like that too. Like you get this week, see, it's almost exactly 50-50 split. The tips were just slightly higher. And then this week, yeah, see, almost exact 50-50 split. I think I'm on to something here. Maybe we'll make a video on it and I'll deep dive into that. But yeah, it just came to mind all of a sudden that, yeah, especially if you accept everything, it seems like, I think most the time, at least lately, it seems like it's always a 50-50 split. Anyway, so we got $7 for 4.3 miles on Burger King. It wasn't terrible, but wasn't the most amazing. It was all right. $250 base pay, $950 for the tip. This one was decent enough. 12.1 miles, $28.25. Did have a decent amount of items on it though, 48 total items. There was a decent amount of quantity though. It would have been much worse if there was only single items each time. But I don't know why DoorDash doesn't include the quantity on there. They did for a little bit. They had like the unit amount and then the overall quantity. But they took it away for some reason. Now that you can click on the order to actually see what's on the order, which is good. But when you look at an order, it makes it seem so much worse sometimes. Anyways, so this was interesting. I got an add-on that was for Monica, and the other one was Monica. So and they weren't the same customer. I thought that was pretty interesting. Don't think I've ever had that happen where I got an add-on. I thought it was the same customer that just ordered Double Dash, but no, completely different customer. Anyway, so we got $2 base pay, $2.50 customer tips on this one, $4.50. Not great, but not the worst in the world. Then we got another Safeway order, $5.50 with $6.25 base pay. The offer was $11.75. I was really hoping for an add-on on this one, but it could be worse. Then we got another one. It was 3.4 miles, $6.75, and that was decent enough. It wasn't amazing, but good enough. Got another one that was, that was the base pay was $2, customer tips $4.75. And then we got KFC that was $9 for 3.7 miles, and this ends the night. This one was a new thing that I've never done before. I've been there multiple times, but I've never, actually, maybe I shouldn't, it's because I actually show the line on there, and I don't want to give away any location of where a customer's at exactly. So I'm not going to talk about it just in case, but it was an interesting experience is what I'll say. Anyways, let's go on. So I made $6.50 in tips and $2.50 in base pay. So it was decent enough. The wait time was decent, but it wasn't like terrible. I think it was like 7 minutes total at KFC. They always take forever. Well, not always, but a lot of times KFC takes a very long time to get orders ready. One time they messed with me, I swear, because they said the chicken nuggets will be ready in like 10 minutes. Freaking, I waited 20 minutes. They kept saying, oh, it's almost ready. It's almost ready. I was there like over a half an hour waiting on stupid freaking chicken nuggets. Well, it was 10 minutes when I first started waiting. And then 10 minutes came around. So I'm like, is the order almost ready? And they're like, oh, the chicken nuggets, they'll be ready soon. They kept saying that. And I don't usually wait more than 10 minutes unless I think the order's almost ready. And I don't know. Anyways. So, yeah, it wasn't bad. And that should end the day, I'm pretty sure. I think I did any orders after that. I was like, what time was that at? Yeah, 8:53. So we started at 10 and we went till 10 a.m. and we went till 10 p.m. So about 12-hour shift. And then let's see here, the current week. So we've made $857.28. Active time is 31 hours. Dash time is 40 hours total. Completed 72 deliveries. And yeah. Oh yeah. No, it should be everything I wanted to show off. So in total for that day, I made like 260, I think, including cash tips, because I did get a few cash tips here and there. I think I made like, I think it was like $10 extra in cash tips, something like that. Anyways, so 857.28, accepting everything. If we count active time, let's go ahead and do this. Calculator. We got 857.28 divided by, now if we're just counting active time, that's 32 hours. Darn it. 32 hours equals 27:35 if you include all the time that I was on orders, but which that isn't that bad. But if you include the whole dash time, which is 41 hours, 57, what is it? 857.28 divided by 41 hours, I am making $20.90. And that's before gas and before expenses associated with doing DoorDash. So I probably am making about minimum wage when I accept everything. That's about right. I don't know. If I don't accept everything, I can make $50 an hour sometimes. But it has to be like super busy. It just depends. And it also depends on Instacart, and I have not been seeing that. And I'd probably be making a lot more if I wasn't doing this challenge. So please subscribe if you haven't yet. Thumbs up, share the videos. Try to make it worth it for me that I'm doing this challenge. We've hit day 5. We're at my acceptance rate and all that. Man, I need to get these videos organized one of these days. Eventually, I plan on slowly but surely increasing, making videos better. But this is what I'm doing thus far. Anyways, so my acceptance rate is 90% now. I still have 5-star customer rating, which I'm actually surprised, and I haven't had any 1 stars. The thing with accepting everything, you get a lot of low tippers, and low tippers usually do give the worst ratings. But luckily, I haven't had any really bad ratings yet. We are into, let me see here. Where did I see that? So the overall order amount, that's what I was looking for. How many orders do we do? Earnings. So for last week, the whole challenge, we've done 72 total deliveries. So I probably have about 28 more deliveries to go, or close to it, before I hit 100%. But we're getting there. And total mileage now is 16,829 total miles. Anyways, that's it for day 5. I do plan on getting more organized with this and trying to figure out how to cut the video down a little bit more. At least this is a little less time than the last few times. But yeah. Anyways, I better get going, eat some food, and get to it again and start day 6 of accepting everything. Please thumbs up, and also get this video up. Bye for now, guys.